I've got another few kits of the month from Spellbinders. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I'm going to be working with the 3D embossing folder of the month and the small die of the month. Both are kit clubs from Spellbinders, and I'm excited to share this project with you today. It's pushing me outside of my comfort zone with these little dies, but I love how the card turned out. I actually asked a friend of mine if she thought the card was cute, and she said yes. Friends in high places? I'm not beyond a name drop. To see that card project, stick around. It's coming up next. I mean, she's the GOAT. So here's a look at the kit for February. This is the small die kit, and it is called Mini Floral Tiles. Now, I always put mine just on a little magnet to share in my video so that you can see all that comes in the kit. And this is the 3D embossing folder of the month club, and this is called Spring Burst. Big, gorgeous, floral background. So I actually have a whole set of little scraps here from some Spellbinders cardstock that I actually just ordered, and I actually swatched it all out recently on, I think I did it on Instagram. I am going to use these colors to get started. Now I have a couple other cardstocks that I might work in here too. These are just some scraps that I have, but I'm gonna get started with creating a pattern. Now, one of the cool things is when you get the small die set, you flip over the package and you will see ideas to show you what you can do with these dies. So if you ever get a set and you're like, okay, I don't really know, what's that, flip it over and you'll see one good idea that you can start with. But I'm going to actually work with this shape today to create kind of a cool design for the front of my card. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out a bunch of pieces on my die cut machine and start designing. Just got my Spellbinder set up here, and I'm using the universal adapter plates. So I'll just run this through. And we have our first little friend here cut out. And then of course, I'll just go in and pop out the little innards with my little pokey tool like that. So now I have this nice little piece cut out. I'll do 2 more of those. I'm also going to cut out just 3 of the diamond shapes because I may or may not back these ones on this gray. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out just so I have them. Okay, and there we go. I'll go ahead and cut out 2 more. I'm also going to cut out some green because, again, I'm not 100% sure. I think what's fun about this is you can just cut out a bunch of pieces. Let's get going here and start to play. So let's cut these out too. Like that. I'm also going to cut out some floral details from these 2 cardstocks. So I'll go ahead and get all of the rest of the things cut out so we can start assembling our little design. There we go. So these are the pieces I'm working with right now, and I'm going to do just one so you can see how I'm going to build this out. And all I'll do here is just, put a little glue on the back like that, some little dots. Actually, I should be using my tweezers. I don't know why I'm not. All right, just kind of have that there. Just glue that onto the gray like that. And this cardstock is Lunar Gray. Let's get that lined up. Love having that liquid glue so you have a little bit of wiggle room. You could offset it too if you want to. I just figured, you know what? I think I'll just wiggle that into place. That. And then I'm going to put just a little daub here at the bottom. So that I can put this little bit of greenery at the base, which I think will work. Oh, it's so tiny. Look at that. It's so tiny. This is all so tiny, but there you go. And now I have one little flower. So I will repeat that for all of these, and then I think I'm gonna glue the flowers on here. But let me, well, actually, let me glue some more flowers together so I can decorate this. Then I'm going to glue each little friend like that, focusing more on the base. Let's get you out of the way. Right onto, oh, right onto the panel and have it hang off just a little bit like that. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. And pop that right there and press. Now I'm going to cut out a couple more little details in this other shape here, which is this little flower friend and some centers to fill this out. Then I'm going to take this little friend and just put a little tiny bead right there. And actually for this, I'm going to use my pickup stick and pop a center in like that. Very cute. And I'm just going to do the opposite on this other flower. They're so tiny. So tiny. All right. That's where fingernails come in handy to hold in place. Okay, so now I've got two and I can decide, do I want to have one here and one here in this different color? So I'm just kind of creating this little, you know, decorative tile, right? I'm making a little decorative tile. I actually think that's really cute because those have dimension and those don't. So I am going to glue this down and then I will build the other three or other two. I will do that off camera because it will take me a little bit to finish each tile. And there I have 3 floral tiles that I just kind of created. It kind of comes together, right? It's kind of funky with the repetition. I just flipped the flowers, these ones on each one for some interest, although I guess I have to go like that. There we go. Now I am going to emboss a panel with this lovely friend to create a background for my card. I cut a panel of the pink sand cardstock to be 3 3/4 by 5 because that's the panel size that I want to mount onto my card. So let me grab my folder, and really it doesn't matter. I'm just doing this to get a beautiful pattern in here. So I think I would like to have, well, maybe something up here. It's just going to be textural and beautiful. So it's, you know, what you see is what you get. And here I have just platform A. I'm going to put the embossing folder with the fold in, and then I'm going to add my adapter plate, D, on top, like this. Slide this here, and then I'm going to run it through. And look at how beautiful that texture is in the cardstock. Oh, isn't that pretty? I love it. All right, moving on. I'm going to go ahead here and prep my note card. I'm going to put this on a white card base. So this is 11 inches by 4 1/4. Go ahead and score that. Okay, actually give it one more because this is my heavy Neenah cardstock. And we'll fold this down, give it a press. Like that. All right. I put some foam tape on the back of my embossed panel so I can pop this up on the card base. Excuse my head if it gets in the way. That looks good. So now I have this beautiful texture, and I think I am probably going to add some foam squares because I do want this to pop a little bit off the base. but I'm just going to be putting it at an angle like that. So let me grab some foam squares for these. I've got my foam squares on the back here, and I didn't know what to do for a greeting, so I just took this little tiny hugs, which is from a die set that I have called the Small Script Trio. And I just did 2 together, and I think I'm just going to tuck it right under there to finish the card. I guess I could come up more, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start first by placing this in the center, because if I get this centered, then everything else should come in nicely. So let's take the backers off like that. And these are thin foam squares, so not too thick, right? We don't want to have, we've already got dimension happening with the panel that's popped up, and I think we're gonna just keep it like that. So let's get some liquid adhesive as well. I just like to have a little bit of wiggle room, 1 little bead on each foam square like that. Just gives me a bit of float before I have to press down in case I put it in the wrong position. And we'll just put this, I don't know, right in the center. That looks pretty centered to me. So I'll pop that down. So now that I have that in position, again, I'm going to flip these so each one has a different color at the top, meaning the dark and the light. And as I look at this, it could have been cute just to do them in white as my base instead of the gray, but I love a soft gray. I'm kind of a sucker for these nice, soft, pale grays. And again, this friend is just going to line up right here, same angle, right? And we'll try to preserve that spacing so it creates that nice whoosh, like that, okay? Just like that. There we go. All right. So now I have just this pattern going across the card. It's very cool. All right, so here's the question. I know that I wanted to kind of tuck a hugs. Yes, that's what I want. And I am going to use liquid glue on this just because I know I'm going to need little dots all around. Should be enough to hold all those little pieces like that. And now I'm holding it with the wrong side, but I think what I can do is just tuck in there a little like that. And let's get it as straight as we can. That looks good. And I'll press. And actually, I think I'll just pop a brick on that and let that adhere. I'm going to finish this card off with a few sequins. These are the Sparkle All the Way from This Calls for Confetti. So we'll just sequin it up a bit. There you go. Little glue and boop. Oh, a little static there. Boop. I like to do 5, nice odd number. And different sizing as well. Boop. And the last one right in there. Boop. And that is my finished card project. I mean, it's kind of cool. Like, look at, oh, let's zoom in here. Look at that texture. Look at the detail as well. I mean, that's there's a lot happening here, and yet I tried to keep it, you know, a little clean and simple, right? So you can take these and you can kind of do any kind of pattern that you like, but I think that's really interesting. Kind of fun. Challenging myself to work with these small dies, but it sure is fun. You can find links to the supplies I used in this card project in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you, so hit that subscribe button and I'll see you back here with another card project soon. To see a few more card projects featuring basically die cutting and paper piecing only, check out the 2 videos I have linked for you below, and I'll see you in those videos.